So, according to YouTube, I am now live. However, I just see a black screen. There we go. And can I hear myself talking? Alright, I hear myself talking. That's great. I'm gonna mute that because that's annoying. And here we are. I am live streaming level design again. It's been about a year since I've done this. Last time we were live streaming some fancy, tower defense game level design. Today it's going to be bullet hell. It's going to be a little different. And if I sound like I have not spoken to a human being in like a week, that's because, well, I have, but I don't know. It's 2 in the afternoon and my voice still hasn't woken up yet because biology sucks, I guess. Usually by like this point in the afternoon, I sound like I know how to do the speaking thing, but alas. Alright, I'm going to close out of that. I'm going to open up Game Maker. This is the correct project, is it not? Alright, I suppose I should do some of that, copy URL to stream and throw the URL to stream on, like, Twitter or something. I hate having to do that. Anyway, whatever. Let's see. So I almost did something that resembled planning ahead today. And I wrote down while I was doing some other stuff that probably should have been given my full attention. I doodled out some like level waves for bullet hell, and we'll see if I stick to those. Let me get some of these papers off my desk, however, because they're in the way. We'll see if I can stick to those, and we'll see if I decide that they're stupid or not about 60 seconds after getting them in the game. Okay. Let's see. So the way that this works is I need to go into like the room editor, don't I? Oh, this is my my greatest fear in Game Maker is the room editor. The room template is alright. So I can mess with room 1 without fear of actually messing up like my testing environment, my template, or anything like that. There may be a few changes that I have to go and make to foe behaviors. I believe I've actually got 2 that are like the same thing. Like I've got 2 foes that are just passive and explode when you kill them or something like that, and I'd like that to not be the case, but I'll get to that when I get there. I did make a note of that. Alright, level 1 is going to be basically a tutorial. I see, taking a glance over at YouTube stream dashboard, there appears to be people here. Greetings, people who are here. I think I'm going to be putting down 5 or so waves in each level. I'm not going to go completely overboard and make these things like marathons of like 20 different waves because I simply do not have the sheer creativity to like come up with that much gameplay. I would like to close my email because that's actually really annoying when it does that. Usually do that ahead of time. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I'm gonna hide those for now. And the tutorial wave, I think, is just gonna have like a couple ants marching on screen and basically serving as cannon fodder. Where's ants? They're alphabetical. It shouldn't be this hard to find. These guards are basically going to be cannon fodder. Because this is functionally the tutorial. So if I were to just bring down... I should probably... Are these spaced out evenly? I think this one is 1 too far over. Is that good? I hope that's good. I should probably put like a giant A or something on these program art boxes so that I can like tell them apart. Do I want 1 row of these or 2 rows of these? Let's go with 2 rows. I haven't really invested a lot of time and energy into like game feel, as some like to call it, juice so far, but all right. That's definitely something I'll be getting. I'll be getting more of. Like when something takes a hit, there should be feedback. When like I feel like the bullets themselves aren't very satisfying to just they just sort of like float out of your player dot, which isn't really amazing. But there's ways that I can deal with that. I want to say on the backlog I've got some cards dedicated to like game feel. Okay. Let's see. I just check something in the YouTube. All right, who cares about YouTube? Me, for one. So that can be like wave 1. This is going to be the cannon fodder wave. I'd like to give these like their own titles, but I think the way that the game like searches out waves of enemies to throw at you, that might not really be a good idea, because I think they need to be named like wave 1, wave 2, so that the game can find them. Next, all right, we've got some of the test enemies here. Did I somehow like change the grid resolution while like by accident, or was that always like that? Anyway, wave 2. So I want to roughly introduce one enemy per wave. The Ents kind of don't count because they're kind of like easy, and they're basically just cannon fire that kind of don't do anything. But I think level 1 is going to introduce ants and aphids. Aphids being the ones that actually like shoot forward, or shoot at you rather. And if I were to start sprinkling those in interesting places, let's see. I'm thinking if I intersperse them like this. How's that going to work out? Maybe stagger them? And double up on the rows? Would that be weird? Would that look weird? We'll see if that looks weird. So, I probably should lay out, for the sake of time, I probably should lay out... You guys were... Oh, I didn't say you divisible. Does that matter? Is GameMaker not gonna, like, send in things unless they're visible? Whatever. For the sake of time, I probably should try and lay out, like, an entire level before playing the game. Because things will move faster that way. Especially if these waves are going to take this long. I really do, alright, yeah, that... now they're sort of shooting at me. That's going to definitely add a bit of challenge. I really feel like the player bullets are just, like, floating out in front of me, and I don't like that. But we'll call that there for now. The wave 1 ants are, like, a half a square behind the wave 2 ants. Which is weird. 3. Ants guarding aphids is in the previous configuration, but a little bit harder. That's fun. Let's see. First, I'm going to lay out enemies and like what I want their final positions to be in the in the room editor, and then I will just shift them backwards, and that's hopefully going to let them fall into their final positions. Where is the center? I want to say this guy up here is the center. Is that too far up the screen? Not really, okay. I don't think so, anyway. One more square. We can do something like a, like this. And I also think, yeah, since the ant enemies don't really do anything, I don't think there is much change to, like, the difficulty of the game by putting them in the corners like that, but I feel like it's, it feels more, oops, wait, don't want to run the game yet. It feels more reasonable for them to be, have the corners rounded off like that. How far up do I want to move you guys to make you fall on screen in the correct way? Alright. The other way that enemies can fly in as well, enemies can fly in any way, because, that's just like a game maker path that determines how they swoop in, but they can also fly in from the sides. I can also make them do that, and if I were to add, what's it, an instance layer, this is going to be wave 4. I guess I'll add another one, call it wave 5, to round off the set for now. Enemies that shoot at you would be a little bit more interesting and also a challenge if they were to be stacked on top of each other, right? Because then you'd have to like stand in front of them when you shoot at them. Variables, path enter. I can make this path enter from side. Movement, path enter from, what's it, from the right would be in this case. Really? This is very annoying. I swear you used to be able to drag and drop assets from the asset browser into the variable definition inspector. From left. So we can have you come on in like that, and I guess we can do the same thing on this side, and this is going to have to be foes, movements, enter from left. Oh my god. Yeah. The room editor itself doesn't bother me, but just little things like not being able to drag and drop a, you know, one of those things into the variable definitions window just gets under my skin. Alright. We'll see if this is, In my sketches earlier, I had a lot of things that looked like just ants being in front of things and getting in the way. But I think for now, I will hold off on that, and if I feel like the player has too easy access to the things that they need to shoot at, I will change that. Although actually, maybe not the maybe not the bottom, but more than happy to add a third column here. Like this. Okay. That's going to be wave 4, I hope. When they come in, I feel like I hope it feels like the screen is filled with stuff to do and not too empty. All right. And the last one, ants / aphid lattice, which sounds like a 3 or a 2 rather, but more intense. Can I, no, don't do that. Can I select all these guys and bring them on into the wave 5 layer? Can make you a little denser. Okay, that is certainly a level. I'll play through this and see how it feels. Wait, why are you shooting stuff on? Oh, that's my recursive bullets. All right. Does make my job easier. I guess I picked up a pickup along the way somewhere. Don't know where I did that. All right. I'm being shot at. My health is like 990 something because I never reset that after I was doing experiments in the last one. And all right, that's round 2. And you guys didn't like swoop on screen hard enough. All right, I will have to write that down as something to change. I guess just in general. I guess just in general, the paths that bring you in, probably, I don't think I made them that long. And as a consequence of that, I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to, like, take you guys out, because bullets despawn as soon as they go off screen. Alright. So let's deal with that. So, path enter from left can start at minus, say, minus 640. That'll be 20 tiles. And we can... Actually, let's just double it to minus 512. So that would be 16 tiles. And we can see how far it needs to be for things to end up on screen in the correct way. "20 tiles would be a little bit of a lot. Hang on, wait. I'm gonna have to adjust the positions of everything. I might not have to adjust that last one. 4. Is it evenly spaced? I think it is. And the lattice. I feel like something here is off by like a small number of pixels. What did I lost? What did you miss? Not much. I only started 20 minutes ago? 19 minutes ago. That's still a little bit high. I'm positioning a bunch of enemies in the room editor for bullet hell purposes. And we'll probably be doing that for about the next 2 hours or so. These probably still are going to need to start farther, like, off the map, aren't they? I feel like I should, like, put down some grid or guidelines on on the room editor so that I can see like where I want things to start if they are to end up in a certain place. Might be a good idea. I'll do that after I've got this first level down. Alright, that's approximately good. You guys end up in the right place. Speaking of things that need some game feel, or maybe a lot of game feel, the alternate attack, the secondary attack, really could Alright, now you guys are gonna shoot at me, and that's gonna be annoying. The secondary attack really could do with some visual design, couldn't it? Alright, let's at least take out the green guys, because they're the ones who's actually shooting at me, and that'll make my life difficult. Alright, and that does... Alright, I might want to squish you guys a little bit, squish you guys a little bit lower, like closer together vertically, because of the amount of space that is or isn't on screen. But you at least ended up in the right places. Alright, that was what, wave 3? We're on wave 4 now. Alright, so that's... Wave 4 is too far out of the way. And while I'm at it, wave 3, I said I would bunch up a little bit closer to each other. Alright, we good? Okay. And I'm gonna have to play this again. I should probably, like, at the very least, like, buff my own attack power just a little bit so that I can get through testing this faster. Let's see. I somewhat doubt that I'll be able to get through the entire level design of this game in one stream. I did, in my planning, I did block out, like, whoa, okay. Yeah, see, that's really distracting. The recursive bullets, I should probably only have it do that, like, in the direction away from you. Because, especially since right now they're all the same, just white circle sprites. It looks like the enemies are firing at me when I do that, and that really confuses my brain. That's another thing I'll write down to do. Are you gonna end up in the right place? Almost. Alright, you still need to come over one tile. Alright, so I have written down that observation. Lost lots of things. Not too much. She just got here when you sent the first message, Fabio. It's only been, as I said, 20 or so minutes. Unless you mean, like, everything in the game that I've done up to this point, in which case it's a little ways along. I feel like, hang on, did I accidentally give these guys the wrong, you know, the wrong, entrance path? Because that would be a problem. What? Enter from left. You need to enter from right. Oh my god. Enter from right. Okay. Another way that it's really annoying that GameMaker doesn't let you just drag and drop an asset into the variable definitions window is if you make a mistake somewhere and have to do it over again. I'm amazed I haven't seen more people complaining about that. Because, like, it's bothering me, and I only use the Game Maker room editor, like, not super often. And normal people, when they use this game engine, they use the room editor a lot, and not being able to do that seems like a huge reduction in the quality of the workflow. Alright, and this power is going to last, yeah, 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds or so, I forget what I set it to. I do like that that rapid fire power. I think that is a little bit farther along in terms of like how satisfying things feel. That was a complete waste. Should probably when it comes to fine-tuning the secondary attacks and stuff, should probably have it hit a somewhat larger fan in front of me. You know, that's something I can change right now. All of these things are things that I can change right now. I just kind of don't want to take my mind off level design for... and here we have another machine gun power. I just don't want it... There we go. They're still not fully on screen, though. I don't want to take my mind too far off level design right now. See, there's actually a number of people who are actually here while the stream is live today, which is actually not something that I'm used to having. So hello, the 7 or 8 of you who are here. Usually I top out at like 4. At this point, I feel like I should just add like an instant like kill all enemies button so that I don't have to play through this whole thing for testing. I do have a debug and a release config, right? Pretty sure I do. Add a screen clearing weapon, at least for testing. Yeah, something to that effect. It could be... There is a secondary / alternate / alt emit attack, which is like a better attack that takes longer to recharge, but it's not a dramatic screen clear by any means. I was tempted, and I am still kind of off and on thinking about making it bigger and fancier to something like that. Alright, at least all these guys end up on screen in the right place this time, although I feel like they should be closer together, horizontally spaced. Alright. I will start making changes to the actual code like once I'm satisfied with this level, or at least somewhat satisfied with the level. This is also a place where, like, having, like, live code reloading, live project reloading in the game would be good because I wouldn't have to rerun the game. And be able to just, like, make a change in the room editor, I don't know, hit a key in the game to, like, reset it to level 2 or whatever, and then bring everything else in, but, does GM Live support rooms now? Like, room reloading? I think Vadim might have been working on that recently. I suppose another, like, possible solution to, having this go a little bit on the slow side is to either, like, increase the rate of drops for, like, power-ups of sorts, or to increase the amount of damage that I do at a time, or that kind of thing. But again, as soon as I get through level 1, designing level 1, I will... I seem to have a firepower because things are like catching fire right now. That's what the red dot is. I will start making changes to the code. All right, so now we have a little bit of chaos going on, and this is actually approximately the amount of chaos that I was hoping for out of a first level. I was worried that I was gonna have to spend like a lot of time like fine-tuning the amount of like the fire rates and the density of foes and that kind of thing for this, but this is actually approximately the amount of chaos I had envisioned when I was sketching stuff out earlier today. I've taken a lot of damage because I haven't been paying much heed to the enemy bullets, and also because the player's hitbox is still a little on the big side. Alright, so that's fine. Level 2 is currently another test room, and we're gonna pretend that's not there. Firstly, I apparently don't have GitHub open, so I'm going to commit the changes to the level 1 room. Add a smart bomb. In-game, it could be a random power-up drop for testing, or could be assigned to a key press or something. Yeah, like a cheat code of sorts. First, before I get distracted by anything else, I have far too many repositories. I should probably delete some of the ones that I'm not using off my computer. Or at least archive them. Alright, first, I did make changes to the, to the entry paths. And then a bunch of the resource.yy's are going to be changed because GameMaker updated and did some things. Aren't you? I always do an update GameMaker commit when the need arises. It's possibly a reason you shouldn't use the beta in production, among other reasons that you shouldn't use the beta in production, because you will have to do this constantly, but I am making use of some things like call later, which I don't think are unstable yet. What was this? Designed level 1. Should I start giving these things names? Should I start giving these levels names? Real names? Maybe. Alright. I'm gonna move this paper off my desk because it's in the way. I'm gonna start making some changes. I addressed the problem with the paths not being long enough. One thing I mentioned is the recursive bullets probably should only split in the direction that is, like, away from you. Because when they split and they come back at you, it looks like something is shooting at you fast. Which isn't good. Attribute recursive. Okay, so this would be... For the player, I'm not going to give this power to foes, so we're not going to have to worry about like the relative direction or anything. So if we say it's like a 45-degree fan away from the player, that can be eyes 45, eyes less than or equal to 135. So a 90-degree fan. And the number of shots can be... I'm gonna nerf that to 4. Still a lot of bullets, but at least they won't be coming back at you. Okay, for the sake of testing that change, and also for my sanity, in the step event, how are, and I don't think it's fancy or anything, but how are pickup recursive bullets applied? Okay, that's just those two values that need to be changed. So in the step event, I can say like if I do have a debug config. If debug config and keyboard check pressed VK F1 or something. we can enable my my recursive power. I'm gonna need to give the player some like visual indication that that is the case, aren't I? What is it, F1? Yeah, alright. That's kind of fun. And it doesn't feel like I'm being shot at when that happens anymore. This should make testing easier. Thank you for giving me the motivation to do something like that, Corey. What did I just do? Don't go back. Stay there. I don't actually need that, do I? I just need the layer part of that window. Anyway. It's not really recursive, is it? If it's only like a recursion depth of 1 that they do that, is it? That would be just utter insanity if they were actually significantly recursive like that. Oh, the other thing I said I would do is the bullet fire breath or whatever I said it was going to be should probably have a wider area of effect. And that area of effect is just determined by the size of the collision mask. And programmer art and stuff. Here we go. I can make that something like... How would I draw like an ellipsoid-ish thing? I guess I could just freehand it. Always a solution. The collision mask can be a diamond, which Game Maker apparently is a little on the slow side, but that's fine. We're only ever going to have 1, maybe 2 of these in the game at once. And everything else is collision information is fairly simple. Let's see. I'm also thinking that it does charge fairly slowly. And it isn't that strong, and that should probably be made to either be a stronger attack or charge more quickly. Because as it is, it's not all that, like, you know, interesting. I'm also going to make this yellowy orange like fire. In the final version, it's going to be probably, most likely, a particle effect. How long do these live? Show parent event. Oh, do these get destroyed when they hit something? Hang on. Let me look at that real quick. Bruh. I never got the pronunciation of that word down. Someone said it in chat, and I tried to pronounce it in response. Collision with bullet. Okay. Where do bullets get destroyed then? Oh, okay. This is where, like, the inheritance trees really get kind of gross really quickly. I'm going to give bullets their own property that is self.destroy on hit, and that's going to be defaulting to true. And for the fire breath and for other bullets that have pierce, that's going to be maybe set to false. Inherit Game Maker, why do you keep adding more junk to this default event every single update? self.destroy on hit is going to be set to false. And then when we actually hit something, we'll check that before destroying something. Okay. And I think with these 3 changes, I will be back into level design. So let's wait for that to charge fully. And then the Fire Breath attack should have Pierce. Alright. Maybe not infinite Pierce, maybe... Oh, you know what? That's going to be applying the on damage every frame, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be a deeper rabbit hole than I thought, isn't it? Well, I've committed to this change, so I guess I have to finish it. Enemies should only take damage from each attack once. Let's see. I'm going to start each bullet with hits, objects, hit, and that's just going to be a struct, and we're just going to map IDs into the struct and check if the bullet has hit this this object already. Let's see, if bullet dot objects hit a string of self.id return, otherwise bullets.objects hit string self.id is going to be assigned true. And that's going to keep the same bullet from hitting and the same enemy over and over every single frame. Alright. And that will only really be coming into play with the Fire Breath attack, because that's, yeah, alright. So we did some hurt to you. I don't want to spend too much time on, like, balance here, but I will buff the damage of that, because it's supposed to be a good attack. But we're also going to have Pierce, and we're not going to be hitting the same foe constantly. Excellent. Okay. Not the most helpful commit messages, but we're going to look back onto level design. Where is my next paper? So I think in level 2 I'm going to introduce bagworms. Fabulous. Haven't seen any of those in the garden in a long time, for which I am eternally grateful. These guys are going to actually do nothing, but they will explode when you defeat them, and that's going to be a bit of a problem if you're too close. So, oh, the grid size can be defined like per layer in the Game Maker Room Editor. Have I never noticed that before? That's why it keeps changing when I go between layers. Whatever. So bagworms are an interesting beast, and I'm going to find you here. I think I will start off with 2. I'm okay. And I think I will have a row of ants in front of them to serve as as I've been calling it, a guard of sorts. And this is going to basically just allow them to sit here for a little while you dispatch the things in front of them. This think that's centered. Alright. Let's try this. I'm going to need to enter level 2, the woodlands. Oh, I gave them the same, like, I gave everything the same name as, like the woodlands, the forest lands, whatever, as they had in Bombardier, which I probably won't have in the final game. Alright. These guys are rather tanky. I believe that was as intended. However, since they don't do anything, I think I can get away with, having a third one in the first wave like this. Alright, so that's gonna be level 1, wave 1 rather. Wave 2... Bagworms behind and or sandwiched between aphids. Alright, we can work with that. I don't know if I want to say the same configuration, but with aphids in the front lines shooting at your face instead of ants, because I feel like that kind of repetition wouldn't really fly, as it were. So I think what I'll do instead is I'll have the aphids more like encircle them. Maybe something more like that. Next, and this might start to factor into another code change that I want to make, but I haven't yet, and I don't know if I want to introduce it now, is I want bagworms to respond to basically friendly fire, so foes can't damage other foes by shooting at them, otherwise that would just, like, completely trivialize the game mechanic, but I think it would be interesting to allow bagworms to be exploded by whatever's, like, sitting behind them. That sounds really rough. Alright, don't think about that for too long. I haven't committed to that yet, but I'm considering it. Anyway, so the way that I don't want to have more than two types of enemy on screen at once, unless the third type is an ant, because they kind of don't do anything. I don't want to have the player have to keep track of, like, multiple attack patterns at the same time, like too many attack patterns at the same time. The problem is, since these guys well, they all really do one thing, but the problem is, since bagworms really don't do anything unless provoked, it's hard to come up with configurations that are going to be interesting, because it's kind of dependent on the player engaging with them first. Also, if I put them... Actually, wait. Perhaps, if I want to have these things... If I want to have these things, react to friendly fire... wave 2 could be something different. I could make the encirclement like wave 3 or something. Oh, shut up, Game Maker. In order to have these guys respond well to encirclement, we could put some of these in front, and then stack aphids which shoot more or less at you behind them. And since they shoot, since the aphids shoot at you, like they aim at you instead of just shooting straight, that kind of throws a wrench in things, but hopefully some of these guys will at least hit their fellows. Alright, this is starting to look really weird. I might want to start hiding earlier later. at this point. So that's gonna be wave 2, wave 3. 4 can be... I don't really have anything super different or anything written out for 4. And I don't want to fall into the trap of just doing difficulty by having more of the same. What I suppose I could do is I could have difficulty by the same formation. Oh, come on, Game Maker. The same formation, but with ants in front. Again, those I don't mind having excess of in the same level, because they don't do anything, but they do act as a nice shield, which can make it so that the player has to work a little bit to get to whatever is behind them. Hopefully that won't be too messy. And wave 5 can be... I'm actually somewhat maybe excited is the wrong word, but I think this could be an interesting setup. To have a... ants just completely like encircling. All right, let's not try and stagger them like that. The ring of worms and aphids. And is there space for multiple configurations like this? Kind of isn't. This will kind of be the whole screen. I can just squish them generally, but... Alright, I guess I'll do that. Double diamonds. Grid snapping, why are you so awkward? Alright, you might need to come forward a little bit. Now, that is 5 waves for level 2. I'm at the 50-minute mark on the stream. That is not quite the time I was hoping to make, but at least we've got levels in. Let's see, I'd like to make it at least up to like a boss by the end of this stream. Alright, you're gonna do that. That's gonna be somewhat inconvenient. The other thing that could happen as a result of the bagworms doing this is like they set each other off when they die and explode their eyes. The directions that the directions that the bullets come out of are a little bit random, and it's not guaranteed that they'll fly the same way every time, but it would still be funny if they set each other off like that. Alright. Next, you're barely fitting in the screen. Alright. So that I'm not sitting here forever, although I do kind of want to gauge difficulty, but... let's see. For my own safety, it's probably a strategically good idea to take out the aphids first before going after the bagworms. Alright. Oh no. Oh, that's right, they time out as well. God. Should probably, I've got that ult, I should probably use it. I'm losing up my own game here. I'm taking a lot of damage. Well, not a lot of damage, but I am taking damage. That was overkill. Alright, now please stop, guys. And the bagworm's timed out. So I didn't kill him fast enough. That could be like an in-game achievement. Take out the... Is the last wave visible? Where's the last wave? Does the last wave have like an entrance and exit path? Enter from top. Why weren't you... Were there more foes in wave 4 that I didn't take out yet? Let's see. No, that was the wrong one. Stop. Okay, for a minute I thought the enemies weren't pausing when the game was paused, which would have been a huge problem. That should probably be addressed as soon as possible. But level 2. All right, and I'm gonna start using my my debug cheats to make this go faster. Two bugs remaining in the wave. Did the self-destructing ones not get removed? They should have, because they were the first time they timed out and blew up on their own, they were removed and the wave progresses normally. I suspect that there was something just like off screen that didn't make it on screen that was the problem. Because my system for figuring out what's going to be positioned where is not like amazing. Let's see. Can we just deal with a bunch of you at once? How many are remaining now? Alright, we've got 3 remaining, 2 remaining. I'm paying attention. That one that timed out did go down. And okay, yeah, there is another row back there that that just didn't make it on screen, which I don't really want to have anything below about halfway down the screen, just so that the player isn't like sitting right on top of everything all the time. So I think I will have to squeeze the rows forward a bit here. Or at least the front row forward a little bit. This is wave 4. Alright, and this last one... Probably don't need the ant in the back row, just for the sake of space, for the same reason. Alright, that's where you really get a lot of use out of the secondary. It's when there's a lot of stuff clumped up together like that. Can take care of a bunch of things at once. Alright. Let's see, so some changes that need to be made. The last row there isn't really doing anything. And we can... I think I like the 16 by 16 grid better for placement. So we can move you half a tile back. You. Same deal. Greetings, Manta Ray. Everything is a little bit... spaced out more than it needs to be, and as a result, the wave 4 enemies were a little bit on top of me. Alright, let's give this one more run, and then I will move on to something else. Looks good so far. Thank you, Manta Ray. It's got a lot of rough edges at the moment, but hopefully in the next maybe 2 months or so, I get to spend much more time on what some people like to call game feel, which I'm looking forward to. that is probably one of the more fun parts of game design. More so than just iterating on the exact same thing over and over again, kind of like this. Let's see, that's going to be 1. Even wave 3 I feel like is spaced out a little bit more than maybe it needs to be, but it's not egregious. Yes, the juice. Good old lamb beer. And I didn't get those in time. The fact that the player's hitbox is so huge is starting to get on my nerves as well, but I don't know if that's something that I want to spend time on right now. Alright, that was a waste. I should probably also, at some point, like, stop forgetting that like, the score and whatever is a thing that exists in this game, and the timer, and, like, reasons to actually care about those things. Probably not going to have, like, online leaderboards or anything, although, Opera GX does provide a handful of free services if you're building for their platform, so I might do it there, but certainly local high scores and keeping track of that per level could be fun. Let's see. That was wave 5, right? Yeah, that's wave 5. I think that's fine. Difficulty is probably going to come in the form of increasing the amount of bullets that foes shoot at you, because that is like the whole point of this genre of games. Gonna spend a lot of time on that later. Alright, was there any changes I wanted to make? Aside from the player's hitbox, code-wise, I don't think so. Alright, so that's going to... This was level 2 design. If I open up level 3... Alright, and do all the levels just have, like, the template room stuff in them? They do. Okay. Just a little something to get started. So I'm gonna have to delete everything, and delete everything. And I could probably use room inheritance to do this a lot easier than I'm doing now, but I don't know how room inheritance works, and this isn't probably the absolute best time to learn. Hornets. These guys are going to shoot at you the way that the aphids do, but they, the bullets home in on you, which makes them a little bit on the annoying side. Let's just start off by tossing down... Can't tell if that's centered or not. I really need something along the lines of, like, grid lines outside the room editor so that I can just line stuff up where I want it to be. And this is going to be level 3. Alright, you guys are bigger and uglier, and you shoot bullets faster and with more energy, and they will make an attempt to follow you around. Yeah, that's it. That's the level. Okay. I feel like I need to make you, like, more annoying. I feel like I need to make these guys more annoying. We could always give them multiple bullets at once. That's an option. I haven't ruled that out. Don't know if I'm going to do that now. Like, have them fire in pairs. Alright, let's do that. Let's have them fire in pairs. Hang on. I feel like there's an easier way to do this. Hornet. When faced with a problem, a noob programmer likes to hardcode the solution. A experienced programmer likes to come up with a general solution that works in all cases, and a veteran programmer likes to hardcode it. But I'm going to possibly over-engineer this a little bit and come up with a general solution, because this is something that I may want to like borrow for other foes as well. Which is to say, you're going to get another variable definition window. It is going to be, let's call it round size. By default, it's going to be 1, and in the shoot method, repeat self.round size. And this is going to be, I've already implemented this several times for other foes instead of generalizing it. But alright, we could say Hornets are going to get, by default, foes are going to have a round size of 1, but Hornets can have maybe 3. So they will shoot 3 bullets at you at a time, and the spread can be, let's make it 45 degrees. Alright, so how annoying are you going to be? Alright, that's slightly more annoying. It's not, not drastically so. I, might need to give you a little more HP so you have more time to be annoying. But that's another easy fix, and all the same, balance can be dealt with later. Alright, now onto level design for real. So this is going to be, you're taking a little bit of time to take down. That's good. These guys are somewhat stronger foes than some of the other ones that we've seen so far. Aphids, as I'm sure everyone who's ever seen an aphid anywhere ever can attest, are some of the squishiest animals imaginable. Level 3. So what have I written out here? Wave 2 can have Hornets, but with guards. That certainly would be more annoying still. So if I were to just give you guys a shield in the form of ants, because these guys are literally cannon fodder. That would definitely up the annoyingness factor. I feel like you are still misaligned. But it looks like alright, whatever. So that's going to be wave 2. Hornets sitting in the back row behind some ants to sponge hits for them, so that they have more time to get on the player's nerves. Situations like these are a good use for the secondary. Wave 3, Hornets with irritants, as I've called it. Okay, irritants, guards, whatever. I don't want to keep going with the same configuration too many times of 3 across in the back, but what are some other ways that I could arrange these? How about if I stagger them? I really wish I had a grid in the back, not only for the grid itself, but also to like mark off like the halfway, like the midpoint in the room, the I don't know, 128 pixel increments, that kind of thing. That would make my life so much easier. The irritants are going to be these guys, obviously. Because that's what the aphids do. Alright, enough messing with that. Wave 4. You can hold Alt, click, and place multiples. Yeah, I do that sometimes. I haven't been today because I've been spending a lot of time trying to precisely position things, and like I guess that would save me a little bit of time of having to go back to the asset browser over here, but that hasn't been where like my focus has been right now. Okay, so this is going to come back to something I think I said in the next round, is that it would be interesting, and the jury is still out on whether or not this would be a good idea if the bomb enemies, the Bagram guys, can be set off by friendly fire. And I did write out a little sketch of using the Hornets to do that. That was actually the first enemy that I had in mind doing that, because Hornets, everyone, if you've met one of those, you know they're awful in every way, and they are super aggressive for no reason, and just setting off bombs in your face just feels like the sort of thing a Hornet would decide to do with its day. Anyway. Yeah, I feel like 6 of those would be a little bit of a lot. I feel like even 4 of those would be a lot. Let's only have 2 of those, because combined with the more aggressive Hornet type enemies, that's going to be a lot of bullets on screen very quickly if you don't like take care of things before they take care of you, you know. I have not made use of things that fly in through the sides of the screen very much recently. And I feel like I'm just gradually losing interest in that entrance. I feel like at the beginning of this series, I had some ideas for ways that I would configure foes to do that, but I just have gradually lost interest in doing that over the weeks. Wave 4 and 5 is, I guess, where I decided that I stopped sketching out plans this morning, so I don't have anything for wave 5, so just gonna have to freehand it, I guess. Alright. What are some other interesting uses for this? Speaking of having things swoop in from the sides, I suppose, we could make you guys do that. Let's see, you are going to want to enter right. Path enter. Which one are you? Enter right. Like that. Let's put an aphid in front of each of these guys to keep you from feeling too safe. And that's a little bit far down on screen. I did say that I don't want things to be more than about halfway down the screen. And we can do the same on this side. Except you're going to have to enter from the left, like that. Change your type, and we can sort of stagger you in exactly the same way. All right. It was that amount. And 5 rows, or 5 columns, 5 columns. Alright, let's see if this makes sense, or if this is just stupid. Which game maker had the live build feature that some other engines have? The GM Live extension by One Yellow Afterlife has like live reloading, so you can make changes in the room editor, and then you can see them reflected in the game without having to rebuild it. At least I think it works for the room editor. I don't remember if he added it for the room editor. It works for code. I don't know of any ways to have it work like over a network so other people can play with it. Although I have been committing to GitHub, and I guess I can push my changes to the origin. And if you want, you can clone the project, and you can test it out that way. Let's see. I'll grab you the link and toss it in the chat, and that will be here. Assuming that YouTube didn't destroy that link, I see it tagged me in the link because it does contain my username. Thank you, YouTube. Very helpful. So if you want to play around with that, and if you want to tell me if something is like weirdly convoluted or too hard or pointlessly easy or anything in between, that's an option. And everything's invisible. Okay, false start. Yeah, when it comes to balance, I definitely appreciate having other eyes on the game. In the past, I've pressed some friends into service, specifically. I often get my sister to test things because she takes great pleasure in being able to break the things that I make, like any good sibling. But of course, having more eyes on it will never be a bad thing. Let's see. Okay, so this is definitely on the harder side compared to before, although the fire breath attack makes it a little bit... Whoa! The fire breath attack definitely cuts through things pretty easily, because that's 4 damage to everything in like an area. Alright, although having all these guys stacked so deeply is a challenge. Alright, who's up next? Alright. Explosions. Perfect. There's gonna be a lot of bullets on screen soon. Yeah. I somehow made it through all those, I think. You can go away, you can go away. And we can... Yeah, see, if the Hornets were able to friendly fire on the Bagworm and set them off like a fuse of sorts, then that would really, Okay, you guys are barely... Okay, this might be actually too much. Like, I'm not actually that good at bullet hell games, but this is actually really hard if I wanted to get through this without taking damage. Even if the player's hitbox was smaller. So I might just get rid of this last column. Yeah, now it's a bullet hell. I'll probably implement a difficulty setting of some sort, such that there's like the normal mode, which is what I'm testing on it now, because I'm bad at this kind of game. Although I do like developing them. And a hard mode, which is like 50% more bullets for everything across the board, which is, you know, good luck. Let's see. Am I happy with that? Let's move you half a cell closer to the middle. And I'll see if, that's the wrong level. I'll see if it probably won't be any easier to have them clumped together towards the center of the screen like that, but I'll see if it feels more, you know, like, streamlined, I guess, to have them like that instead of to have it split down the sides of the room. Alright. Why did I spend that much energy taking out the ants? Because there's cannon fodder, literally. They don't attack you. I should really be going after the things that actually damage you. Oh, did someone give me a one of those? Oh, wow, powers. Yeah, I actually haven't gotten one of those in a bit. Let's see. While I still have the recursive one, let's put ourselves in a place where it'll actually matter. And all right, you are. Ooh, you are being clustered towards the middle. I did definitely take some damage there. Oh god. It does look really cool when all the wasps fire at once and there's just a wave of orange that converges on you. I like that. And I might have given you a little bit too much HP because it feels like the challenge now is just like a war of attrition. All right, that's gonna be level 3. And is there anything else? 4. I guess I didn't have to close the game. Level 4. For some reason, I feel like I want to be like a mini boss of sorts. Like every 4 levels is a boss, like a real boss, a mini boss, and whatever. The way that these are laid out in the grid sort of makes it feel like 3, 6, 9, and 12 should be bosses. 12 definitely will be. 6 almost certainly will be. I feel like I want to have a mini boss and then 2 real ones, sort of. That is just something that struck me a little while ago. Like, now that we've seen the Hornets, we can step it up with, like, a minor Hornet Queen, and then later there's a major Hornet Queen, and then there's the Hissing Cockroach or whatever, or something to that effect. Or Hornet Queen, Cockroach, and then Hornet Queen again for the final boss or something like that. Maybe that'll be 6, 9, and 12. We can work our way up to that a little bit. Alright. So that's the end of my my level design sketches, because I guess exhausted those a little faster than I thought it would. I would like to, aside from the bosses, introduce one enemy type per level. Ants have been introduced, aphids, bagworms. We're kind of just going alphabetically down the list. Hornets have been introduced. Pillbugs shoot at you. Not yet. Apparently they don't. They should shoot at you. They also explode on death. Gnats are programmed to chase you down. I feel like if anything is likely to end up on the cutting room floor, it's the gnat, because I don't really like how they turned out the way I do the other ones so far, but we can try. I think if I actually implement flocking behavior so they don't just step on each other, that will go a long way. Before I change anything, let me write down possibly for later today, possibly just for later. This should not be a difficult task. 58. This should not be a difficult task. This should just be a matter of where the like the friendly fire is checked and disabling that for certain enemy types. But okay. For level 3, I mean level 4. Game Maker. I'm trying to do Control A to select all, but it is adding an asset layer apparently. for level 4, I'm going to do something a little different for Nats, and that is going to be that I think these guys are not actually going to have paths to enter. I will set your path enter to no one, and then these guys will just sort of fly at you. As the game moves on, and I won't try and organize these in a nice, elegant way. Are you gonna pursue me at all? Okay. Did they need to be activated? I guess because there's no path. I feel like I had to do that for some other, there we go, alright. I feel like I had to do that for some other enemies a while ago. Would it be better to keep these guys apart by having them bounce off each other, or by giving them inertia? Like giving them a slight, like, homing effect. I do have other homing enemies. The centipedes do that. In a, like, not creepy way at all. Let's see if this is, see if this comes out looking better. And the game broke. Oh, centipedes also have an X speed and a Y speed. Okay, yeah, I did have to manually set their active status to true in the create event. Setup makes the world go round. Homing amount. Spawn them one after another instead of all at once. Something like create a spawner object. That is an idea. That is something that could work. First, let me get them to chase you in a way that's okay. I'm gonna have them home in on you a little bit harder than the centipedes do. The centipedes are kind of a gradual curve in your general direction. Alright, and there's still... That also prevents them from clumping up on each other as well. Although they will still... I think they will still converge eventually. Let's have a... Let's give them a rate of 50. And that might be too much. I do like the circles that they make, though. Alright, that wasn't bad. Having a spawner, though. Let me give some thought to that. I think it's safe to say that I like this behavior better than the original. So I can just delete that comment. And is there anything else I need to change here? I don't think so. I think I can... Okay. Spawner objects. So this is going to be... I'll make this an enemy. Will I? No, I won't. Because then it'll count towards, like, the enemy total that needs to be defeated, and that's going to be not really what you want. I won't make this an enemy. I will make this a... Alright, the room editor, the workspace is starting to get a little cluttered. I can close most of these. I won't close the game controller. You can inherit from nothing. Alright, that's gonna be... Sounds really harsh. But we can just make you an object, and... I think we'll give you the same, like, if not is playing, if not active, then return. Or at least, the one about being active, because otherwise we'll just delete the object, delete the spawner. Some things that you're going to need are going to be, I think, the spawn count. Can default that to say 5 nats spawned. Oh, you know, we can make this like a generic spawner. And we can also give you an enemy type. Or foe type, because that's the vocabulary I've used elsewhere. This can be an asset. I can default you to this asset. I can't drag and drop the asset type into the... I swear you used to be able to do that. I guess not anymore. What was this other variable name? Oh, this was going to be like the time between spawns, right? Spawns per second. And if I want to make that like every other second, I can make that 0.5 or so, and we could have that be our spawning rate. Spawn rate is a better name. Let's see. If self.spawn count is what I called it, right? Spawn count is greater than 0. Then we can instance create self.fo type. No, I need an X and Y. Can I say... Probably, to keep things easy, I'll say just spawn them, like, in the, like, above the room region that most of the enemies are originating from, right? I think that would keep it easy. So that can be something like random range 32 room width minus 32. The Y can be something like random range negative 128, negative 32, depth.0. The type can be this, and I think that's good for now. I will also have a cooldown. I've been doing a lot of things that are like a weird mixture of time sources and my own timers. Just because I've been used to doing it like this for so long. And as soon as I type that out, I can totally just use a time source for this, can't I? Spawn active. Wait a minute. I can make this better, can't I? Alright, wait. I don't know if I even need the step event for this. Oh yes, I will, because this is going to be change event. This is going to be deactivated until the wave starts. So I will need that to be the step event instead of the create event. Alright. I wish GameMaker had like an on activation event. I believe other engines, Unity, I believe, has something like that. There isn't anything like that, is there? Or what I can do, and I keep going back and forth here, or what I can do is I can make this a method. Self dot spawn just function. I think I spelled that wrong. Alright, so we can have a spawn method that will spawn an instance of the foe. Self.spawn count minus minus. Right? Manter, I gotta run. Alright. Hope you had fun being here. I will probably be here another half hour or so, because I usually do this for like 2 hours before I want to go pass out somewhere. Have a nice day, and I guess I will see you later, perhaps. Where was I? Spawn count minus minus, and then call later. The period can be... what did I call it? Spawn rate. So that's the number of seconds between spawns. No, it needs to be 1 over that, because that is the number of spawns per second, so the reciprocal. The unit is going to be time source units seconds. The callback. Can I literally make this the same method? I think I can. And repeat is going to be false. And now, if I just, for example, stick one of these spawners up here off screen in level 4, I think the game controller when we invoke a new wave, send in next wave. Alright, so this is literally a matter of activating the instances on that layer. We don't do anything special with any object types, and I think here I should be able to just say with spawner self.spawn. And I think that should be all I need to achieve this. Oh, you know what else I need to do is so that they don't spawn indefinitely. If self spawn count is less than or equal to 0, instance destroy and return. Otherwise, we can continue with the spawning. All right. So let me deal with these guys. Hopefully, this is going to be made quick work of, and then I see we have spawned 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be one more, 5. And then, all right, wow, yay, that worked. Manta Ray, if you're still here, that is your spawner. All right, that worked as intended fairly painlessly. Minus about 5 minutes of me screwing around with time sources because I am still disoriented about them being a thing, apparently. As opposed to having to have your own time mechanisms, because nobody talks about alarms, because we like to pretend those don't exist. I will, before I commit that, make some more programmer art, and I'm going to just call it spawner. And we can just make this a black circle with like a white S on it or something. The text tool in this engine is so bad. In the sprite editor. Like, the sprite editor! People like to hate on the sprite editor, and I at least can get it to do what I want most of the time. But the text tool is just something else, I tell you. No, don't. I just want the letter S. Like, please, Game Maker, just allow me... I don't even know what that was. Just allow me to... Where is the... Literally, how do I commit changes to the text tool? I don't see a button for that. I don't enjoy the sprite editor, but I can live with it. I can make some decent program art in it, but the text tool is just... pains my soul. Okay. So I will give you that sprite, and then I will commit the changes, and then I guess... I don't want to make 5 waves of just spawning more and more gnats. Maybe I'll have a couple waves that are like that, but I want to have a couple that are also like, you know, real. Real waves. But... okay. So, wave 1 can also get a spawner. Maybe like wave 1 and maybe like 4 will just be spawners. Variables. I'll give you 8 total. And wave 5, wave 4. Maybe some of the other ones in the middle can be waves of foes that have like spawners with other things in them, something like that. I can also move these way off screen because they don't really have a position that's important. All right. I won't give you 20. I'll give you 12, and I'll have you spawn them every 1.25 seconds or so. All right. I still need to commit changes, don't I? To the edit. Hang on. All right. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3. One every other second feels a little slow. Alright, this is 1.25 per second, which feels better. I'm gonna increase the spawn rate of the second one a little more. And 1.5 per second. And the first one can be... in fact, you know what? The defaults can be 8 and 1. Like that. And here they come. All right. Remember the days before variable definitions when you used to have to actually, like, just deal with creation code whenever you wanted to define defaults for something in the room editor? And then remember the days when that happened, I think before the create event, so... like, it was even a whole bigger mess. Let's see. Room level 4, don't need that. Created faux spawners. So that's wave 1 and 4. 2, I guess, can have a spawner, but it's also going to have some other stuff. And that other stuff is going to be probably bagworms who just sort of sit there. Grid lines. Would it help if I did this? Maybe a little. How many would I want? Alright, well, the size of the room isn't a perfect, like, multiple of 32 anyway, so maybe I should just stop trying to obsess over that. I don't know. I'd like to at least be, like, a little bit centered. So wave 2 can have bagworms, which are passive but will explode if you hit them. Wave 3 can have... I guess we can start introducing other foes to the mix. I don't want to have multiple offensive foe types in the same wave as gnats. The gnats are annoying for sure, but let's see how this feels so far. Alright, wave 1 and wave 4 are basically just like a wash. These are not intended to be hard. 2 is going to feature bagworms that kind of come in a little bit farther down the screen than I'd like, so I'm gonna have to move them back. Probably the same for the other enemies. Oh no! Stop chasing me. And I was gonna say, why did those hornets go down so quickly? And then I realized that I had the Gatling thing. Okay. Let's see. Wave 3 spawner. I would like to spawn a little bit harder. Spawn a little bit more. A little more frequently. And move these back. We established, right? Oh, that was... I put that in wave 4 by accident. That was not intentional. Let's move that to 3. 3 does need a spawner, though. Can I organize these? Like, just line them up? Alright, so wave 3 is going to have a spawner. Wave 3 is going to have... a faster fire rate still, though perhaps not more. 4 is going to have nothing on screen except for the gnats. So let's make that a little bit more tense. I think spawning 4 per second of these things and having 20 of them in total will serve to keep the player on their toes. You're gonna go boom, and I feel like you're gonna time out soon if I'm not. Alright, I think I actually did kill you. So this is a little bit of chaos. This might be more enemy types on screen at once than I really want. And I think one of them just went off screen. I'm gonna have to wait for you to circle around, yeah. Actually, that wasn't bad. I'll just move the contents of wave 3 back a little bit. And also these guys. And alright, yeah, this is what they mean by swarm. They are getting a little on top of each other. In Bombardier, these guys had a damage shield, so that like you couldn't one-hit KO them basically, and also some other effects related to that. And I wonder if it would be a good idea to implement that for these guys here too. Anyway, let's see, that's 4, and wave 5 can have a spawner. And wave 5 can spawn a lot. Maybe not quite as fast, but we're also going to have other things on screen. So that can be Do I want bagworms behind hornets again? In front of hornets again? Would that be too rough? That might be a lot. When combined with the spawner spawning flies. Alright. Well, maybe a level 4 won't be the easy one. Let's see. I've been going for an hour 50 already. I guess I did take a little bit of time away from level design to do the spawner business. Let's see, that's gonna be... If I can dispatch you as quickly as possible, that'll be nice. Avoid the rings. And that's gonna be taking care of the second bagworm. And hopefully before you go boom, I can deal with you as well. Alright. Oh, this is definitely a chaos level. If I can get you to the bottom of the screen, I can get a couple seconds of reprieve because you will be going off screen. And having to turn around and come back. Alright. This is a little bit wasted here. Because 4-4 is one of the easier ones. Okay. I think I've figured out a way to take regular enemies and make them far more annoying, however, and that is going to be by trapping myself in a situation where I have to take a hit from something. That is going to be by introducing flies into the mix. It feels like a good final boss strategy for the annoyance factor. Okay. I'll leave it like that. I might slightly decrease the number of spawns, or at least the spawn rate for this last one, or both. So 20 spawns every 1.5 seconds or so. Alright, the rest of them look good, I think. Let's see, that is going to be level 4. Any last miscellaneous housekeeping items before I cut it off? The level names, I could start giving these names. I guess I can start assigning backgrounds too. Where are all these defined? I want to say they're up here. Level 1 can be... Oh, what did I call it? Cannon fodder is what I was somewhat derisively calling it. I'll just go with that. Level 2 was the bagworm bombs. 3. What did we introduce here? The hornet's nest. 4 is flies. I feel like, should I make all these some kind of joke or pun, or in the case of level 2, alliteration? Something like... And come on. How hard can it be to think of names for levels? Oh, come on, Dragonite. like, fly away home or something. I don't know. Is there enough space for that? That doesn't even make sense. Flies, gnats, like fruit flies, I don't really care what I call them, but... That's a pun. Alright, let me just make sure that all these levels stay in, like, there's space. I think I'm gonna need to keep them a little bit shorter than that. Also, why did I write code to make, like, the line break around, the colon like that? Instead of just, you know... putting a line break as it is. Oh, it might have been so that it appears in here. Alright, I'll leave it as that. Alright. And then, of course, there's the matter of the level backgrounds loaded, but I think I can worry about that later because I don't want to spend a great deal of time like looking through just scores and scores of 3D models and deciding what I want to spawn in the background. So, I'm gonna end things off here. This has been making a tower defense game. This is week 26, sort of. These level design streams kind of happen just on a basis of like whenever, so it's not really a week by week thing in this case. But in any case, if you want the code for this, I posted it in chat earlier for the for Manta Ray to have a look at. But I will have a link to that in the description of the video as well. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all later. I didn't name week 25. I should give that one a real name. You need a tag. I need to push the tag. That would definitely help. Okay, there we go. I will see you all later.